Hey guys, welcome back to EmKay, the best Reddit reading south of the equator, and in today's video we're going to be looking at r/TIFU, standing for Today I Fricked Up. So basically, laughing at the failure of others? Yep, sounds fun, let's go. Most Today I Fricked Ups don't get posted the same day they happened. This one's no different. Flashback 3.5 years ago to our fall league of softball. My wife's family always has a softball team every year in their church league, and our team consists of my wife, her 3 sisters, their husbands, my father-in-law, myself, and normally one random girl that normally changes from year to year. Just a little backstory, my wife is 135 pounds, but also has a generously large behind for her size, and I, being a male, enjoy smacking it for obvious reasons. Brilliant. I told you it was a little backstory. Classic. Cut to me making the third out by catching a fly ball in left center. I do not know sports enough to know what that means, but sure. And jogging into the dugout behind everyone. Upon reaching the dugout, I see my wife in front of me walking in. I decide to take my baseball glove, reach back, and slap her on the booty. Immediately something felt off. I've smacked my wife's booty a lot. She enjoys it, and now I enjoy it. The reciprocating ripple normally can be felt. Too much detail, bro. When slapping her behind normally was not felt. My wife's sister turns around, who is much more conservative when it comes to intimacy or even being promiscuous, and my jaw drops. I thought you were Zelda. Okay, Link, whatever you say, bruh. I babbled. I start panicking because I just spanked my sister-in-law's ass in front of the entire game and didn't want to be murdered by my wife. I turn some shade of red and begin contemplating how to injure myself so I can get away from my soon-to-be death. Luckily, my wife and all her sisters are practically clones of each other. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and extremely beautiful, my wife being the best out of them all. They've been mistaken for each of the other ones their entire lives. They all laugh and I'm still made fun of every time we play. I now always make sure to look at my wife's face prior to spanking her in the bottom, in public. My wife loves bringing this story up to embarrass me now. So my girl and I had a great night planned. I made reservations at her favourite restaurant, she got a sexy little number to wear after dinner, and sent me teasing texts all day. Wish that was me. She absolutely loved the flowers I got her, and she presented me with a bouquet of homemade beef jerky. She then proceeded to spend, I kid you not, 3 hours getting ready. She looked friggin' amazing. I love that. She looked friggin' amazing though. We were both starving and she was really looking forward to a night out. So we get to the restaurant and get seated. The only menu they give us is this Valentine's Day special. I do some quick mental math and realize this dinner is gonna cost me close to $300. Oh hell no. So my girlfriend looks up from the wine list and sees I'm antsy. She asks what's wrong. I mumble something about their prices having gone up, and she asks if I want to go somewhere else, and I jumped on it. We practically raced out of there. She followed along sheepishly and made excuses to the waitstaff. So we get back into the car. I apologized and told her $300 was ridiculous for one dinner. And she was like, wait, what? It turned out it wasn't that much. It turns out the menu prices were per couple, not per person, like I thought. Once I realized that the dinner would have in fact been in my budget, I tried to get her to go back to the restaurant. This is where I really fricked up. She kept saying no and that she didn't want to. She said she would be too embarrassed to go back. I said that was ridiculous, and I didn't understand why, and I kept trying to get her to go back. Then she suddenly bursts into tears and sobs. Why aren't you listening? It doesn't matter why. All that matters is it does. Why do you want to push something onto me that makes me feel so uncomfortable? Ah, frick. She kinda had a point. I apologized and drive her home. I asked if she wanted to go to any of the other restaurants on our route home. She said no, since she looked like poo since her makeup had got all messed up from crying. She didn't, she still looked gorgeous. We get home, and I don't think anyone on the face of the planet has ever gotten changed from fancy clothes to sweats as fast as she did. I tried apologizing again, and she said it was okay, just wanted to be alone for a while. Now she and the cat are in the other room watching true crime documentaries. I guess I don't wish that was me. People who know me say I'm a gentle soul, but that I have an angry listening face, don't do any small talk, and can be quite opinionated. So I tend to avoid other people at my children's school because interactions usually don't go well. So last week, Thursday, I arrived at school to pick up my kids and went to the store right next door to buy some groceries. School is in English and we speak French at home, which means we can usually say whatever we want without anyone eavesdropping. While waiting in line, I turned to my daughter and went, "You're ugly," to which she replied, "Thank you." Now you need to know the backstory. There is this French black comedy called Tati Danielle or something, which features an angry old lady insulting and abusing everyone. In one of the scenes, she tells her mother, "Your girl is nice, but damn, she's so ugly." This sort of became a running joke in our family, and I feel this also teaches my kids not to take insults at face value. We sometimes throw out quotes from the movie, mimicking an old lady voice. Of course, I did not know that the only teacher in our school who understands French was behind me. And this, of course, is my daughter's teacher. She was shocked and let out a small gasp. "Your daughter is not ugly?" She then started talking to my daughter. "Is your father being tough at home with you? Is he mean to you? What about your mother? Is she tough with you?" Without missing a beat, my daughter went, "Nope, they're both very cool." To this day, the teacher still looks at me suspiciously. So, my 6-year-old often likes to make up his own prayers at nighttime, and it's adorable. So tonight, he was kneeling at his bed, jammies looking so cute I could just eat him.
"Dear Lord Jesus, please watch over me as I sleep tonight. Please look over Mummy and Daddy and teachers and friends too, and the friends I haven't met yet. Thank you for dinner and inventing Minecraft." Excuse me, that was Notch. Give him credit, kid. Jesus. I chuckle lightly. Him turning to me angrily. "It's not funny."
"Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie, I won't do it again." Resuming his prayer.
"And please don't let my toys come alive tonight. Amen."
And he hopped into bed. My stifled laugh sounded like a loud pig snorting, so I just laid my face down in his blankets and pretended like I was praying deeply, as I tried to compose myself. Then I got up quickly to hide my face, and I sneaked one last look to say goodnight as I shut the door, and he was giving me the death glare. This is still fresh in my mind as I'm typing. I take some time out of my daily commute home from night shift to make a detour and spend some time with my dad, 71 years young, who spends most of the week alone, as my mum, 62, works all day. Today was just a routine visit. My folks live in the country and don't have much trash pickup, so I visit Dad while driving their garbage to the dump. As we are talking, I bring up a video that I'd seen and suggested I share it with him. He agrees, and once we get back to the house, he suggests I find the video while he does something else. Commence frick up. My dad has an older model desktop PC that's quite temperamental and only likes to use Google Chrome. I go to open a window to see that my dad has 20 plus tabs open. All of them were different profiles in FetLife. For those who don't know, FetLife is like MySpace for people with fetishes. Brilliant. Bondage, waterworks, ferries, etc. I just brushed it off as my dad being a dirty old man. Unfortunately, the tab I opened Chrome to was my parents' profile page. I not only saw my mother in very revealing garments, I also saw my dad gagged and hog-tied like a pig at a So now not only do I know my parents are pretty kinky, I also know what it looks like when my dad is getting stuffed like a Christmas turkey. Brilliant! Awesome story. Great read. Thanks for sharing, bro. This happened around 2010, when I was roughly 24 years old. I still lived at home with my mum, who always had a sweet tooth. Now, by this time, she was suffering from some early onset dementia and did not work, so she had a lot of time on her hands. She liked to call customer service numbers and give them a hard time about little things for some human interaction, in my opinion. She'd been calling Nabisco several times about her opening brand new Oreo packages, finding the center of the tray almost completely devoid of Oreos. I knew this because she had mentioned it and would leave notes from her phone calls around. I rolled my eyes and was used to her being a little nutty. According to her, it kept happening, and she kept taking photos of the Oreos each time it happened to try to prove to Nabisco that she wasn't making this up. I assumed she was eating them and forgetting. One day, I'm in the kitchen, and I open up a brand new package of Oreos and grab several from the center roll. As I started walking away, it finally hit me. She didn't realize that Oreo had updated their packaging to having the easy open pull tab on the top. She was still opening the side of the package and sliding the tray out. I was the Oreo thief the whole time and didn't know it. We had a good laugh over it. My mum died shortly thereafter. That's a very fast 180. And my sister bought me an Oreo Christmas ornament. I smile as I recall the Oreo incident when I decorate my tree each year. I've been married almost a year, and the marriage is spectacular. The wedding was 96% perfect, and there was one significant issue that I can't vent about to anyone in my real life, so I'll share here. My nipples. That's a good start. When I first got engaged, I showed a friend a picture of a courtship wedding gown with a very deep V-neck. I have tiny titties for the first time in my life, and breast reduction, and was excited to try out some styles I'd previously felt were off-limit. My friend was so excited for me and said that her mum could make the dress and would love to do it for me as a wedding present. I gratefully accept and am totally pumped. We do my measurements a year out, 3 months before my wedding. I come by for a fitting, and there's definitely the start of the beginning of a garment there, but she's doing this for me for free as a huge favour, so I stay chill. 1 week before my wedding, I make the trek down to where the friend's mother lives. It's like 75% done. I'm a little concerned about the neckline. I ask her to try to get the fabric to lay as close to my skin and as flat on my skin as possible. I refuse to panic. If nothing works out, I'll wear my mum's wedding dress and it'll be fine. I'm not like a regular bride, I'm a chill bride. I'm not like other girls. The day before my wedding, my friend's mum express ships the dress to me. It's here, my dream dress, so excited. In the rush of everything, I don't have time to try the dress on until I'm putting it on for the ceremony. All my friends tell me how great it looks, and it does look great. If I'm standing, absolutely stock still, and standing straight up. However, as I go through our wedding day, I realise that this poo does not fit at all. It's mostly fine through the ceremony, but a big chunk of stitching comes undone during the after ceremony pictures, whatever. It's a place I can hide. This is fine. Everything's fine. Then the reception. Lord, the reception. There's a picture of me dancing with Dad. He has this expression on his face that so clearly reads, I love you, I'm happy for you, I support this marriage. However, I can see both of your nipples in this moment, and I'm not especially pleased. During the first dance, I flash everyone. Everyone. My grandparents, here's your descendants' titties. Godmother, I know you haven't seen them since I was a baby, but hey, here they are. Creepy uncle? Sure, why the frick not? Get an ogle in. In the video of her first dance, you can see my husband slowly figure out what's going on and kind of clamp his hand to my chest towards the end to protect the remaining scraps of my modesty. I got super drunk, decided everyone had already seen everything they could possibly see, gave up on caring, and danced my ass off. I wrote my friend's mum a thorough thank you note and offered to reimburse her for the fabric costs. Lessons? I don't know, look a gift horse in the mouth sometimes. I'd seen things that my friend's mom had made before and they were incredible, but I think maybe she put off my dress until the last minute and did a rush job. I should have faced the music a little earlier and at least bought some boob tape in case everything didn't work out the way I was desperately hoping they would. Learn from my lesson. If anyone wants to do something for you for your wedding or for anything else, really, it's okay to have desires to express them. I should have pushed her more to have done more at the 3-month appointment and sounded the alarm more urgently when the neckline didn't fit at all at the final fitting. But all in all, the wedding was hella fun and the pictures turned out great. I'm not sharing pictures because I'd be mortified if my friend's mum found this post from a picture. This didn't happen today. It was actually a couple of years ago. I used to work as an attractions attendant at Universal in Orlando. I can't tell you how many douchey guys would make stupid remarks and fake hit on me while I worked there, but it was enough to make me think that every guy that hit on me was just joking and being stupid. Anyway, I was checking seatbelts and harnesses when I get to this one guy's room. As I was checking in his seat, he says, "Hey, I was looking at you from behind the gates over there and you're my type. Can I get your phone number?" And I just laughed in his face because I thought he was joking. I mean, I threw my head back and laughed, and then I gave him a sarcastic, "No, sorry," and continued checking the seats. Well, as I was checking the row behind him and his friends, I hear him say in a really sad voice, "Guys, she said no." And I've never felt so bad in my entire life. This poor guy actually wanted my phone number, and I laughed in his face, which makes me look like the biggest boy on the planet. If I had have known he was being serious, I would have politely declined and told him that I had a boyfriend. If you're the guy I laughed at, I'm so sorry. So this frick up just happened last night. It was getting late and I started feeling like I needed a bit of a release. So I sat down at my computer and pulled up some of my favorite videos on Pornhub to do the inevitable deed. Now, sometimes I'll switch it up and enjoy watching an attractive girl who's camming live online for a bit. So I opened a separate browser window and went to my go-to camming site. As I was browsing the cam girls, I suddenly got curious to see what the guys that cam actually do, or if they just jerk off regularly like the rest of us. I switched over to the male section and clicked on a random person. They appeared to just be jerking off and nothing special was going on, unlike some of the girls that do contests, prizes for tips, etc. My mind quickly refocused and I remembered I was horny, so I went back to Pornhub, watched a video or two. In the midst of my excitement, the browser window with the guy on cam ended up buried behind the other Pornhub windows, so I forgot about it. As I felt I was soon going to be close to the big release, I remembered I still had that window with the guy open, so I alt-tabbed to close it down. Just as the window came into focus, the dude on cam started to ejaculate, except this wasn't normal ejaculate. The dude started to ejaculate dark red blood. Oh my, that's horrific. I couldn't pull my eyes away as I watched what looked like a murder scene unfold in front of me. The people that were watching started to say things in chat like, "Oh my god, what the nasty. Blood?" As I was wondering what on earth I had just witnessed and if it were even real, the guy responds in chat with, "Prostate cancer boys, catch it early," and then immediately logs off. In shock, I lost my erection and ended up just sitting in silence for a while, feeling a mix of emotions. I felt grossed out and also very sorry for the guy, and felt bad for people that were legitimately watching him, and annoyed that it killed my boner completely. I slowly closed out of my Pornhub windows and ended up going to bed feeling deeply disturbed. As a guy, it was an unwelcome reminder of the risk of cancer. Or because I was horny and wanted to jerk the gherkin. This incident happened this weekend when my husband and I were enjoying a mini vacation. We were hanging out in our hotel room when it was time to get ready for dinner. I got undressed to go to the shower when my husband offered to carry me to the bathroom while I was naked. I said yes, but soon realized my big mistake because I really had to pee. Once we entered the bathroom, the need to pee was too strong, but I knew I could make it. Until I saw the toilet lid was down. Just like Pavlov's dog, I saw the toilet and my bladder was ready to go. There was no turning back. I screamed, "I'm gonna pee!" So he dropped me down on the floor to get the toilet ready, but it was too late. I peed on the floor, as an adult woman. I started laughing and said I peed, but he didn't believe me until he saw the puddle under me. I guess it's too late for him to be disgusted and leave me now. I don't know what that last sentence means, but fair enough. This sad tale literally just came to its bitter end. So until about 20 minutes ago, I owned a gorgeous, bright yellow Death Grips hoodie that was my pride and joy. My mum bought it for me for Christmas last year, and it was my absolute favourite item of clothing. Last night, I went out with my mates and happened to meet an attractive Spanish girl who was just in Manchester for the weekend. We chatted for a bit and made out in the club smoking area, as one does. Do they? Then after a while she complained about the cold English weather. I predictably offered her my precious hoodie at this point. Fast forward a few hours and we exchanged contact details as we planned to meet the next day to hang out. Then she leaves the club and I realise she's still wearing the hoodie, so run after her to ask for it back. This is where I made my fatal error. A fine example of thinking with your genitals instead of your head. I had the smart idea that if I let her keep the hoodie for the night, it'll mean she has to meet me the next day, and can't back out, thus allowing me more time to charm her. I essentially used the jumper as fishing bait, but didn't think the fish could just eat the bait and swim away. Spoiler alert, this is what happened. The next day I awoke, excited to spend some time with this girl, and waited patiently for her to reply to my messages so we could arrange to meet. By 5 in the evening, I start to get worried and message her again, as well as asking a friend to reply to me. My messages get left seen for about an hour before they both block me on all social media platforms, shooting in the head any chance of me seeing my beautiful jumper ever again. To the Spanish girl who stomped on a nice gesture and on my heart, know that you have made me sad. Rest in peace, sweet banana coloured hoodie. And there we go, that was quite a sad last story. Let's all have a prayer for that guy's hoodie. May it rest in peace. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, be sure to watch any of my other videos, and as always the link to my main and beta channel will be down below in the description. And anyway, that's about that. See you in the next one. Bye.